What is going on, guys? It's your friendly neighborhood Super Saiyan here, hanging out, doing stuff and things. Like always, we're back at it again with some more Super Saiyanly amazing action. Hope you guys are excited to hang out with me today. We're going to be messing around inside of Unreal UE5. We're going to be messing around with game development. I didn't really have a plan for today, and I really wanted to get on here because I was kind of on here fiddling around a little bit. So we're going to be watching a tutorial video and trying to just kind of apply things, you know. So yeah, that's what we're doing today, chat. We're going to be learning some stuff. We're going to be doing stuff, so feel free to ask questions or chat with me if you wish. I'll be watching this video and applying it here and talking about some of the things that I have here in the level, what I'm currently working on, and stuff like that. However, I don't have things completely set up yet, so just give me a second to kind of like mess around with things. So I need to go to edit layout. I need to go to here. I need to go to here. Okay. So now if I clip anything, I can show it. Okay. I have a new vertical screen so I can clip things for when I'm doing that. Let's actually get to 2 screens up and going. That way we're ready to go. All right. So this is UE5 right here that I'm circling on, and then over here is our video. So I was already kind of looking at the video earlier today. Go back into full screen real quick. That way on the horizontal, I should say. That way I can show you guys some things, and then we can go over to the video. So essentially what I've been working on and what I've done is, if I come into the level, you can see that I have a cube, a door, and a light. These were some things I worked on last time. I think I streamed already once and explained some of these. What the hell is going on? That's not supposed to be happening. Interesting. Game mode. BP player, HUD class, BP player controller. Why is it doing that? Why is it doing this? It wasn't doing this last night when I was on. I literally just launched the engine and I'm already having a problem. Okay. As soon as I go live, I have no... Why is it, chat? Why is it when I want to do things, when I'm not live, things work? But then the moment I go live, I get a gazillion issues. No matter what I'm trying to do, even if it's something simple. I don't understand. Now I gotta figure out why this isn't wanting to use my thing. Okay, hold on. Game mode, characters. Yeah. Okay, these are here. That's my BP player right here. Whoops. BP player controller, that's the blueprint class. That's this. Player start. It's acting like it's not using... Start with enable game session. Game state base. Player controller. Player state class. Player state. HUD class. Just gonna keep that there. Try closing this and reopening it, I guess. That's so weird. Is it being like this? It was working just fine last night. And the moment I get on to do something live, it wants to act like it doesn't know what's going on. So weird. Alright, last time I clicked to remember those. Also, it keeps loading me in this untitled save instead of in here. I clicked on maps to go to that map. For that level. And the character's just broken. Oh my gosh. So annoyed. Great. Man, I'm trying to do something here stream-wise and everything's being stupid. I was trying to set up, all I wanted to do was create a vertical thing, and my JR Docky thing was out of date, so I had to sit there and do that. That's why it took me so long to get live. And then I finally good, and I'm like, oh, I can get on and start where I left off last night, and I could just do this today, and of course, it's doing this now. So, and I don't know enough of what I'm doing to really fix my problem, so it's just probably going to be me sitting here trying to figure out what the hell is wrong. And I might not even figure it out before I have to leave for work. So that makes me feel great. God. So dumb. I was like literally on this like a few hours ago. All I did was get off of this and go to bed, wake up, take a shower, start up stream. Like I was on literally less like 9 or 10 hours ago. All I did was save everything and log off. That's all I did. I didn't do anything. So the fact that it just all of a sudden doesn't want to work doesn't make any sense to me. Man. Where's the project settings? Maybe, yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Okay. Project name, third person BP character template. Oh, I got it. I fixed it. It was like it wasn't loading that into the level. Okay, jeez. Okay. All right, all that functionality is working then. Okay, cool. Oh my gosh, that freaked me out for a minute. Okay, I'm not sure if that was the correct solution for it, but I'll figure out if that's not what I needed to do. But that's ridiculous. Okay. I don't plan on having any other game modes at the moment anyways while I'm learning, so that's fine. Okay. Anyways, let's go back to where I started, where I was starting with all of this. Let me move this up so I can see if there's anyone in stuff. Okay. Sorry, that was weird. I couldn't show you guys anything because my game mode wasn't loading. So anyways, if we go into the level, you guys can see that I have a health bar, which actually has some functionality, which is pretty cool. I'm making myself take damage here. I'm giving myself health, so that's pretty cool. And I could max out on health. I can also, if I go all the way down, I can die, and then basically have to reload the game. Which I have no sense of like reload. I kind of edited some things, so I have a walk and a sprint that I enabled, and then I have some of these things that I made, which are interactables. So you got this cube that rotates, you got a door that opens and closes based off of a timeline, and then you got a light that turns on and off by turning a source on and off. I also edited the gravity and jump, so the jump isn't too insanely powerful. Just kind of did some minor tweaking. So, for example, if you guys want to know what these are, here, I'll go to content. I think I explained these last time, but I'll go ahead and do a quick explaining. We'll do the block rotating cube, and I'll get the light because I made those. Okay. So how it works is you have a viewport, right? And in this I have a static mesh, right? That's this. And then connected to the static mesh, I have a collision box, which I call overlap box. So basically, when the character walks into this box, it can then interact with this cube. We need these two things inside of our blueprint in order to give it functionality. So then if we go to the event graph, how all that works, so what I said is you use what's called on component begin overlap. So that's this. And then what you can get down here, you could also so then you cast it to the player and you get the player's controller and you enable input. And then on end overlap, you cast to the player, get the controller, and you disable the input. And that's pretty much all there is for that. And that's called on overlap. Then you need to give it functionality. So then when I press the E key, it will play the timeline. When it plays the timeline, it will get the rotator, and it will set the relative rotation of that object, and then you get the object reference there, which is our cube, which is this. And then on B, it stops it. And when it's all said and done, it looks like that. So, and then on here, this is a time, it's set to loop. This is a timeline, right? And then it's on a curve from 0 to 5 seconds. Or is that 5 minutes? I can't remember. It's either 5 seconds or 5 minutes. I think this is 5 minutes. Might be 5 seconds. I think it's 5 seconds. So from 0 to 5, it'll rotate 360 degrees. So I forget where that's at. I think that's here. Yeah, because that's 256. Yeah, okay, so right here, this is your degrees going up, I believe. Yeah, because there's like 5 something. So that's like 360 degrees. And then in a rotation of 5 seconds, it will rotate. Boom. 360. See, there's the value right there. And it's just a straight path. So that's how that works. Very, very simple stuff, not too complicating. And then you get a rotating block. As for this one, this is a lamp, right? You got, so how this works is you got the mesh, which is our lamp block. Oh no, we got our static mesh, we got our light, our actual object. Then it's got a light that I added. That's where the actual glow comes from. And then we have our collision box to interact. So our collision box on begin overlap is exactly the same. When you overlap it, you enable it. When you leave, you disable the input. Now, this one's just slightly different, but pretty much as simple as the other one. When I press the E key, I'm setting the visibility of the item. And in this case, it's our light. So set hidden in game, and then you choose whether that's true or false. And then A is hidden. So when A turns it off, B turns it on. And then you get the object reference. So it knows what it's referencing. So then when you go into the level, you can turn it off, you can turn it on. And there's our light. So so that's pretty cool. So that's my rotating box and my light setup that I made, which is pretty neat, I think. Now, what I'm making here is an inventory system. A lot of stuff that I don't necessarily understand too much because I've been kind of following a tutorial, trying to learn what I can. I'll show you what I have done. I can kind of explain some stuff, and I'm gonna learn more. So I have these components that I'm making. The one that I have finished is the health component. So it's a health component for taking health. So I believe this is take damage that I'm on right now. So you have all these. So this is our event graph. So let's start with the event graph. On begin play, we are setting our current health and our max health to our actor class, and we're setting it to our HUD, and we're checking if we're dead. And then event player health here. Okay, so these are event player health and our event player take damage. So this is our gain health, this is our take damage, and then we are updating our health. So and then these are in our functions. So if we go here to take damage, this is our take damage function. So first what we're doing is we're seeing if we're dead, and if it's false, we're setting our current health, and we're getting that by subtracting our current health from our we're subtracting our damage from our current health, and then we are, if I remember correctly, that's the value, and then this is our max health value. So we clamp that to a float, and then we set our current health, and then we're equaling it out to 0. I forget why we equal it out to 0, but Oh, we're trying to... Okay, I remember, yeah. This lets us know that we don't go past 0. Once we hit 0, that's it. We don't take any more damage beyond 0. And if we're at 0, right? If the condition is at 0, then it's true. And then it triggers our death component. Our death function. Which is right here, which I'll show in a second. If we're not at 0 and we're still alive, it does a return node and it checks it again. So that's the take damage. This is our death function. If we die, we do it only once, we set ourselves to dead, and then we call on death function. So that one's pretty simple. Gain health is the opposite of taking damage, obviously. So this is if we're dead or not, just like the last one. If it's not, we're going to set our current health, but instead of subtracting, we're adding. So we're adding the amount that we're gaining to our current health. And then, you know, we're clamping that and setting our health, and then we're checking again. So basically you're just adding whatever this value is to this, plugging it in here and setting it. And that's our take health function. So yeah. So this is our health. What's that called again? Component. Yeah. So health components are things that you can I'm learning that components are systems that you can make, and once you make them once, you can apply them to other things. So instead of building all this functionality inside of my character, I build it into a component, right? And then I add that component to my character here. And then I add the functionality of if that character has a specific thing, I add it to the character specifically. So the only thing I need to know is here from that is in my character is my on death function, pretty much. So on death, and we're basically telling it what to do. So when we die, we want to disable the character's input, and then we're setting our collision to collision enabled Corey on physics, so that gives us the ragdoll, and then set simulated physics there. So that's that. Can't remember there were anything else that I did with my character, but that's pretty much it. So I believe in the character, yeah, so if you go to the health component itself, it has stuff for it. So for example, this is current health, this is max health here, and I can change these. So right now I have it at 300, 1,000. So right now I have, you know, 1,000 for my HP. But if I came in here and I wanted to make this, oh, I guess 50 doesn't make sense because I have 300. Let's say I only want 500 health, right? Compile and save for the character. As you can see, I have 500 HP out of, you know, as my max. But I'm gonna put this back, just cause. And that's how you give the individual thing or different blueprints. So say you make anything like an enemy character or say something as simple as like a wall that takes damage, right? Even if it's simple functionality, you just need to give it, you know, some health of its own. Then you just go into the actor, right? You just make whatever that is, a blueprint, right? You just boom, blueprint class, boom, you choose whether actor spawn, whatever. You go into that, like the player character here, you go into the side panel, you click add, and then you just add in that component that you made. the health component, and then in there you click it, and then you just give it its health, and then if there's any specific functionality you need for that, you can bring in your health component. You can access all those things from here, from the health component. So you can, so basically, you can call from that, but you put basically the main functionality of what you're trying to do inside the component, and then whatever has the component can then access the component for information in order to do that. So instead of writing the same systems over and over and over again for, instead of just adding health functionality to literally everything inside of the specific thing, you make it once, right? Then you add it to whatever you're making, and then you add any specific functionality for that character, item, whatever it is inside that. It saves on time. It also makes it to where your stuff isn't, lagging down as much. And then these were just my player damage and player gang health. These are the call functions. So, yeah. Is this, do I have the wrong node for this? I feel like I have the wrong node for this one. Player. Take. Yeah, I do have the wrong one for that. Wow. I don't know why, but the guy I was watching said we wanted the interface one for some reason. So I was using the wrong one the whole time. Or maybe I wasn't? Oh, I didn't give it any functionality. Okay. We'll do 50. I was like, I didn't give it any damage. I was like, why am I not taking damage? That makes a lot more sense. Alright. Cool. And see, I can't go past 0. So, yeah, I used the wrong one. I'm not sure why we want to use the message one. He just said to use that one, so I didn't realize I used the wrong one. It still worked with the wrong one, so I don't know what the reasoning is for that just yet. Eventually I'll figure that out. But that's the health component that I've been working on. So as you can see, I got my health bar there, and that I have made up, and I can give myself health with the 1 and 2 key. Take it away, and it updates. So the stuff that I had, so that's the health component, but I didn't show you some of the other stuff. So if I go to UI, not UI, interface. This is my BPI health interface. This is where the gain health and take damage for, I think it's my HUD or something. I can't remember. I have to go back and rewatch a lot of this stuff. I plan on at some point, I want to watch this and I just kind of apply it and mess around with it and just kind of build it alongside it. And I plan on at some point redoing this and trying to build it on my own. I plan on rewatching a lot. I'm learning, but there's just so much information that I'm trying to take in. It's hard to, keep everything straight. Also, I have terrible time with the names and stuff sometimes. Interface inputs. Those are inputs. I knew that wasn't the right one. What am I trying to find right now? Is it HUD class? Oh, yeah, it is my HUD class. Okay. Wait, no, it's not. Yeah, it's definitely not this, but this is the updating my health on the screen. So this is for the widget. That's what I'm trying to find right now is my widget. Oh, it's under widgets. Okay. So yeah, this is what I'm looking for. So this is my widget, my health bar widget that I made. So basically this is like a screen, right? And then everything's layered. So I guess what's at the bottom is what's layered on top. So I have the base canvas, then I have the health bar image. I have the progress bar, which is actually the bar that slides, and it's the red part. Then I have a glass filter over that to make it look like it's in a canister. And basically this is all of just kind of the, you know, looks of everything. You know, how everything looks pretty much. And then this is just what, you know, everything looks like, you know, and then, you know, you have all your details here on the side. And then you set this to your HUD pretty much. So then the HUD class is all your functionality. And this is what I did last night, and I am still trying to learn all of it. So this is the event graph. So on begin play, we're casting to the player. So I did find out on those other items that I made, the cube and all those, I'm gonna have to learn I'm gonna have to make an interact system of some kind in order to do that for those things, because you don't want to cast to the player a bunch, because when you cast to the player, it means that those items and things are always loaded into memory, and it's really bad. You only want to use this functionality apparently when it's on things that that it needs to be on, and the HUD and the player are always loaded into memory, so it's fine to have it here. The block, the door, and the light were the first things I made, and I was just kind of learning stuff. But if I was to make those as actual things in a game, that would not be good practice. So if you're learning yourself, make sure to learn, you know, a system for doing that. I think, again, I'm still learning, so I'm not entirely sure. I think that would just be a component, right? Component, I think. I don't know. Don't quote me. Do your own research. Find out. Just know that casting to the player all the time and like a gazillion things is terrible, because it will load everything that you have this cast to player into memory from the moment the game starts, and it will stay in memory. It won't disappear. That's not a good thing. But for the HUD, it's okay. So we are casting to the player, and we're getting the player controller and all that. We're setting BP player, which is this down here, which is our widget. No, this is, yeah, our BP player movement logic. I don't remember. This is a component that we did. Yeah, we're referencing something here from here, and it's our BP player. So it's a variable. That's what it is. And then we have a sequence node. On sequence 1, we spawn the widget, and on the second sequence, which is, it goes from 0 to whatever. So technically, sequence 0, spawn, and then update our health is what we're doing. And then we have all of our other stuff, which is this is our other functionalities, which are what these are, our functions. So we have construct script, widget to spawn, and widget to health. I don't know what construct script is. I think this was just made on default, and I don't think I actually need this here, but I'm not sure, so I'm just going to leave it alone. However, I do know I made these. So widget to spawn. So widget to spawn, we're creating health bar widget we're setting the health bar, we're adding it to viewport, and we're setting the visibility. Not to hit self and all children. Not sure. I don't quite understand this yet. But basically all this is doing is putting the health bar on the screen. And then this is the functionality to actually update the health bar. And it's a lot. I'm still trying to figure all that out. So yeah, so this is the player. Okay, so this is our player. So it's referencing this. So when you add components, you can find references to other things and it can get the information from those things. So this component is our health bar, which is what I just got on showing you. And then this is our actual player. So this is our health bar. So basically what is happening is we're getting all the information from the player, whether they've taken damage, whether they've received health, whatever it may be. We're getting that from the player and we're updating it here, right? And then we're getting those numbers and then we're adding those numbers to our things here, right? And then, you know, we're adding, subtracting, and we're setting, and then we're setting the percents, and then we return. So basically all this is saying is telling us where our health is at. So if we take damage, oh wait, I gotta move around. If we take damage, it's updating. Now we're at 250, 350, 400, 600, so on and so forth. So that's what that is. So that's what I made there. So it's our stuff. And now we are currently making an inventory system. So that's where we left off, where I left off last night. And I'm still trying to learn all of it. So, so yeah, strap in, guys. We're gonna watch this video, and I'm gonna try to learn some more stuff here. So hope you guys have fun. Feel free to ask me any questions, even if it's not about this. We're here to just kind of hang out and learn and do whatever. So if you guys got questions for me, please ask. I will answer them. I can't guarantee that I'll know anything, but I'll do my best if it's about this stuff. But you guys are free to ask me any question, obviously, and just kind of chat with me. So let's go ahead and get into this. Okay, I have to pause this guy quite often because he moves so insanely fast, chat. I can't keep up with this guy. He explains things so well, and I feel like I obtain the information really well, but he just zooms, guys. He zooms like crazy. Like, it's insane. It's so hard. So he's gonna say to set the pure. I know he is. What do you... Why does he have the... Why does he have a... Wait, whoa. Go back. Where'd the return node come from? That wasn't there a second. Was that there the whole time? Am I crazy, chat? Gosh dang it, I know where it came from now. Okay. Alright, I know where it came from. I'm an idiot. Okay. That's where that came from. I was like, where did that output node come from? I was genuinely confused. I was like, where the hell did that come from? Okay. All right. That was an option. How'd you get that as an option? Okay, get data table role. Item data table. That. Okay, that's what okay, got it. Caught up, figured it out. Row, stack size, plugin. Okay, return node, stack size, -1, not 10. 1. Okay. Do that. Okay. Okay, so I compile and save that. All right, cool. Okay, so let's take a minute here. Okay, so so this is setting our get max size. So we're getting our data table, and then and then basically we split it to see if we can find it, I guess. So we're checking to see if we have extra space. If not, we're returning it. We're setting it to -1. Okay, I guess. Okay. All right. I suppose. I have no idea which one he's on. He's on the one that we started on. Okay. Find slot. All right, that's the one. Hurts. Slow down, brother. Holy crap. This is what I'm talking about. I can't keep up with this guy. Okay. Like, I try. I really do try. Like, I just not as fast as he is because he knows what he's doing and I don't. So, okay, off that. B. So, for those who are maybe trying to learn with me or whatever, you know, I want to get used to explaining stuff while I can, so as I learn I can help. If you go onto the event graph in any place and you press you click, if you click a spot anywhere, that's where your next function will land. But if you left click, okay, hold on, sorry, my bad. You have to drag off for it to happen. If you start dragging, you can press B and it will add a branch node at any point. You can also do the same thing with drag off. You press S, it'll give you a sequence node. So in case anyone wanted to know that. So when you're dragging off, certain buttons will give you things. B will always give you a branch node. So now you know. Yes, okay, I did need 2 branches. Make sure it wasn't. so we're doing index. Bound slot. Okay. Okay. Okay, that means found slot. Okay, I'm gonna clean this up a little bit, because I like to see where all my stuff's coming from. So I think if I get this, didn't quite get all that, drag that down a little bit, like that, and then I can add one of these. So if you double click on a line, you can add these little dots, and they're called reroute nodes, and you can just reroute them at any point, and you can highlight them and you can move them around wherever you want. So it lets you see where your lines a lot better and lets you keep things nice and clean. Also, I'm not gonna do it, but if you highlight everything and you press C, you can make a box, and then over here it gives you contents, and you can add, you can name it, you can do all the visibility and stuff. It looks like this, these little boxes. So if I click on this box here, it gives you this information. Text, you can add a color for the color bar, font size. You can show a bubble when you're zoomed out. That's this thing, so you can read them even when you're super far away. So if you're like running around, you can go, oh, where's debug health? Oh, there's debug health. You can zoom in. You can also color coordinate. So like something I've been doing is anything that's related to like health a little bit. So like that, or like that. That's like, this is updating my health and stuff. This is my debug for my health. So it's red. This is my on death function, and then I have like green is my sprint. So you can like color coordinate things, you know, just to kind of keep things organized. Always keep things organized. And something I'm learning is you always want to give the names to something, because there's just so much stuff in here. So for example, if you make okay, components not a good example because you just name components, but for example, let's say character, you want to put BP underscore player or third person character or Frank the Fiddleman. I don't care. BP Frank the Fiddleman. Maybe you're making some fiddle guy character, whatever. You put BP because BP stands for blueprint class. It lets you know what type of thing this is. When you hover over it, it will give you the information, but it lets you be able to find things at a glance. And also when you're referencing things, it keeps those things in a category, and it makes it easy for you to find things. So always properly name things. It helps. For example, this blueprint interface, it is BPI, blueprint interface. So that way you know what things are. Trust me, it'll help down the road. So just do it, okay? Okay. Oh, okay, so I think I get it. So it's checking to find the slot, which is what we were setting up. So we're checking our content. So what he was saying is it's getting our slots, seeing if it's equal to or whatever, getting the slot size, and if it's true that we have it, then it says a slot is found, and then I guess it will put it there. If it's not, I guess it doesn't do that functionality pretty much. So it does this pretty much on completed. Or it removes, I think this, okay. I think if it doesn't have a slot, it doesn't do anything because you can't put anything there. And it checks to see if it's found. If it is found, then it returns, and I think it runs the completed functionality. It removes that. It removes the thing out of your inventory or something. I don't know. I'm still trying to learn how this works because yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna rewatch this later anyways. So okay, you didn't tell me which one you went to though, and you're zoomed in, so I gotta figure out which one you're on. Probably maybe the event. Not you're not on the event graph. You're here. You're on add to inventory. That makes sense because that's what you were doing, is checking to see if you had a. Okay. I was. Oh, what the hell? Add to inventory. Okay. Can you get? Okay. Boom. Okay, so now we're gonna add functionality to adding to the stack. Okay. Okay, so this is our add to inventory. What we were doing was we were checking to see if there was room. So now we're going to add a stack. Okay. I can't spell quantity very well, so you're gonna have to just be on pause for a second. He's doing like a whole thing here, so I guess I'll just copy whatever he's doing. Going too fast. Gosh, man, this guy, he's just so zoomy. I can't. My guy. I haven't even I'm trying to type. I can't even look over to the screen, brother. You gotta calm down. Jeez, why am I having troubles all of a sudden? Pretty sure it is that one. Okay. Second guessing myself. Probably into the quantity, I would assume. Okay, I'm pretty sure this is done, but I'm going to clean this up because holy crap, I wasn't expecting to have to drag this like a mile down the frickin' road. Just to like keep things clean. Okay, that's easier to read. So the index goes into that and that. All right, that's much easier to read and see. Okay. That doesn't need to be so far out there. That way I can read everything within relative space. Okay. Okay, that's all we need to do for that? Good. So then I can compile, save, and close it. Get the hell out of here. Okay, add to inventory. Do that so that way I can see it. Oh, you ended up doing that too. Okay, you're gonna move on before I'm ready. I can already tell. Okay, so you're saying is that minus minus? I don't know what that is. What did you add? I've never seen that node before. Okay, so it is minus minus. I'm not crazy then. Okay. I've never seen that's my first time seeing this node, chat, not gonna lie. Yes. think I'll do something like that. Keep it nice and straight. I think I needed that reroute node, to be honest. That doesn't surprise me that we're now going there. Return node. Bang. Alright, I'm gonna have to go back and learn all this. I'm trying to keep as much information as possible. So now, any empty slots available. Okay, so it is green. Okay. I thought I was crazy for a second. I was like, ah, dang it, I did it wrong. But I didn't. Okay, I did do that. I was like, what? I did that whole pause stuff really quick. Is there any way I can... I want mine to look like his, so I'm just gonna disappear that. There. That way it looks like his. Is hyper complicated. Are you kidding me? And that's how you do that too? Hold on. Okay, all right. I like how I set it up right. Didn't realize it. And then I also Found, well, hey, it was a teachable moment. Now I know how to move them. I figured there was a way to do it, and then there it is. Okay. Okay. Yeah, you can't just be doing that to me. Hold on. So it's make S underscore son of a... Did I drag off the wrong one? Make S underscore... Where is that? Okay, hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right. Make S underscore dumb slot. Why am I not finding it? Last time I couldn't find something, it was because it was named wrong. Interface. No. Components, character. Where was I keeping all that stuff? It's data, that's right. S item slot. That's what he's referencing right there, but I'm not finding it when I drag it off. S underscore. See, not even showing up. Why? Why am I not getting it? Why are you able to get it and I'm not? Yeah. I get that. But why are you able to drag that off and I'm not? Make item. Oh, there's no underscore. Oh, okay. That's weird. Slow down, brother. Okay. I think I already caught up to you, not sure. Hey, he left it up for us to look at it. That was nice of him. Finally, it's like he can hear me through the monitor complain about how fast he's going. He is going too fast, to be completely honest. Explains things so nicely, going way too fast. misclicked and now I'm behind it. -1. Oh, it's 1. Oh, and then I need to get the local quant. And it's that minus node that I hadn't seen before till today. Okay. Kinda. Do something like that. Yeah, no kidding. Do that. We're gonna. I guess it goes back here a little bit. Inventory stack size. Just double check to make sure you actually typed for that. Yeah, okay. Wait, what? Wait. Oh, it was right there. Okay. Just want to make sure I'm getting the right one. Okay. Okay. Man, that was a lot. Okay, that was kind of a lot. Inventory system is a lot. Although I want to really make sure I learn inventory system, because one of the biggest complaints I have about some survival games is freaking inventories, my guys. Oh my gosh, inventories make or break games for me. They really do. They really do. They make or break them. Okay. Okay. Let's have this open anymore. Let's have this open anymore. Or this. All right. Okay. Okay, so you want 1, 2, 3 there. Didn't know that was a thing, but okay. It's a shift plus that button for anyone that is wondering. Okay, I'm learning real fast that I'm not out far enough for this. Okay, so B and D were just spacing, so it's only 3 of them. That doesn't need to be as spaced out as I was thinking. Something like that. All right, that looks good. Okay, I should probably see what he's gonna do. Can't. I'm already using that, so we're gonna do 3. Also, it works better if you do key. I found a lot of people are like just using numbers or whatever. I do key. So 1 and 2 is my health system, so I can't use that. So I'm gonna go slightly different here. Okay, and then it looks like, whoops, wrong drag off. Debug, boom. On press. Okay. Compile, save. I'm gonna add a comment here. Debug. Key. Press 3, just to keep things a bit more organized. What should inventory color be? I don't think I need to worry about that right now. I might come up with a color for that at some other point in time, but not right now. Compile and save. Okay. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, compile, save, inventory, press 3. Or that. Nice. Okay. Oh, that was the wrong thing. So, okay, so it's showing in slot 0, because remember, it goes from 0 to whatever. It doesn't go from 1 to whatever. It goes from 0. So even though we did 24, it's 23, but it's actually 24 because we have 0 as 1. So looks like, so it's showing that we have 2 apples there out of 24 slots. Nice. Woo! W! Let's go. All right. Yeah, learn custom trace channels, create quantity UI inventory, and then easy steps to build your own inventory UI menu. Create a game-changing cycle hotbar item slot. Okay, so it looks like it gets into some other stuff. If you guys are wanting to follow along with this, you guys need to go to Taken Grace over on YouTube. Taken Grace over on YouTube. He's doing tutorial videos. It's really nice. He's got one called The Only UE5 Inventory System and UI Series You Need to Watch is what it's labeled as for the playlist. So This is also the Ultimate Inventory UI tutorial series. That's the name there as well. The first one is make your first Unreal Engine health system in 10 minutes. And it's got this redhead elf looking chick here on the picture. That's the first one. And it'll be attached. All the others will be attached to that one. That's the first one. So this is where we were learning to make the health system, which I showed you. This is the health bar. And then this was the inventory data system that we just did, and then this was making your own inventory. So that's all that. So, and then now we're going to the next step. So, oh, it's a lot, guys. Still have 2 pizza rolls over here. I do want to mention that as you're following along, he will have like a page where you grab the stuff. So like, sorry, I was eating. So the inventory system, when we did the data table, he gives stuff for free to follow along. So you used to see items where we made all these item blueprints. There's thumbnails, so you get all the pictures here for those things. I'm gonna guess in the upcoming videos we'll get the actual blueprints for that as well. Not blueprints, but like the meshes, the static meshes for those items, like the in-world drops for them. But yeah, there's all those. You'll get them with each thing. If you plan on following along. Or is this 3? Okay, that's good to know that needs to be deleted. Content delete. Okay, so that's not there anymore. Perfect. Not input. Gosh dang it. That's. I really need to remember what these are. Interfaces. That's what I need. Blueprint. Interface. BPI underscore interact. Oh, whoops. Let's see. Inventory object reference. Okay, so we did it right. Okay. Oh man. Oh, class settings. There we go. Okay, hold on. I fell behind. Sphere traced by channel. Okay. Get world location. Get sphere radius. That was real confident. Okay, hold up. E5. Okay. Let me just watch what you're doing first. So, collision. Trace channels. New trace channel. Interact. Interact. Ignore. Accept. Alright, let's make an array. Why did he have it? Oh, it looked like he was trying to save room, but if that's literally it, then... Items, okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay, hit actor. Wait, what? I want to do some things. Okay, I see. I see. That's what I missed. So I don't plug anything in. Okay. Oh, man. Chat, I gotta use the restroom. If I'm gonna be honest, I gotta use the restroom, so I'll be right back. I hope you guys are learning and enjoying. There's not a lot of people chatting, but if you're enjoying the video or the stream video, you know, consider, if you're on YouTube, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, hit the bell notification so you don't miss when I go live again, and yeah, if you're interested in this or just hanging out with streams. And yeah, don't forget to follow if you're over on Twitch. We do have channel point rewards and stuff that make things a bit fun and entertaining. So, enabled to do all that stuff. I will still be around for about another, from not including my including my bathroom break that I'm about to have. I have a little less than an hour left. So take that how you wish. But yeah, I hope you guys like the stuff that we have enabled so far. I will be right back, guys. So yeah. All right, chat. I am back. Sorry. I had to use the restroom.
And we're going to make another blueprint class and another actor component. We're going to call this item data. Oh, we can't have spaces. There we go. So item data is going to be inside, obviously, every one of our items. It's going to have a couple of variables and a couple of things that we need it to do, and it's also going to have the interact function. So this is what it's going to be checking for, that this item data actually exists inside the item. Okay, so first thing, let's do a item. Oh, we can't have spaces. There we go. So item data is going to be inside, obviously, every one of our items. It's going to have a couple of variables and a couple of things that we need it to do, and it's also going to have the interact function. So this is what it's going to be checking for, that this item data actually exists inside the item. Okay, so first thing, let's do a item ID. And this will be a data table row. Data table. I guess I should have to type out the whole thing. Data table. Here we go. Row handle. Data table row handle is what we're looking for. Okay, that'll be instance editable. We're gonna this up and we're gonna do quantity. And that'll be just an integer. Okay, we're gonna compile. We're gonna make the default for the integer 1, or pardon me, for the quantity 1. And we are gonna go to class settings, and we're going to implement that up, and we're gonna do quantity. And that'll be just an integer. Okay, we're gonna compile. We're gonna make the default for the integer 1, or pardon me, for the quantity 1. And we are going to go to class settings, and we're going to implement that interact interface as well. Compile. Okay, that's all we need to do for now. So we are going to go back to our BP player. We'll hit compile just to do it. So okay, so if we do hit our interactable actor, we are going to want to do a couple of things. We're going to get a sequence. Okay, so this sequence is going to interact with things in a specific order. So this can be different for you based on your game and your gameplay, but for me, the first thing I want to interact with are items on the ground. And then after that, we're going to do everything else. We're going to do chests, we're going to do doors, we're going to do all that kind of stuff. Okay, so from our hit actor, we're going to drag out of there. We're going to get component.
Okay, get hit actor.
By class, don't click get components by class. Okay, get component.
Get
by class. We only want one variable, the other one gives you an array. We don't want that. So we're going to choose item data. Okay, From here, we're going to drag out of here. And since our item data has the interact BPI in there, we're going to do BPI interact message.
BPI interact message.
Okay. Our inventory, we're going to grab our inventory from our player. We're going to plug that in here. So it's going to drag everything obviously there. And then from then 0, we're going to drag up and go to our interact. Okay, so after we've interacted with all of our inventory, we're going to grab our inventory from our player. We're going to plug that in here. Going to drag everything obviously there. And then from then 0, we're going to drag up and go to our interact. Okay, so after we've interacted with all of our items, we are then going to interact with the rest of our stuff. So we're going to grab our hit actor. We're going to drag out of here, and we're going to get does object implement interface. And the interface we'll be looking for is interact. Okay. If it does implement the interface, guess what? That means it's interactable, and we're going to interact with it. So we're going to drag out of there. We're going to get our hit actor again. And we're going to interact. Interact message. Okay. Obviously, we don't have anything in the game right now that's going to implement these. Later on, that'll be our chest. But we're just going to get set up now. But so in our chest, when we make it, we're going to have to make an event that does something when we call this specific function. Right now, we don't have anything in our being done in our item data yet, but we're going to do that shortly. Okay. That's all we need to do for the interact. That's all done. So we're going to hit compile. All right, so we're in our event graph, so we need an actual key to push in order to interact with stuff. So let's hit, or pardon me, let's go into our input folder in our content drawer. We're going to make a new action. Input action IA underscore interact. Okay. And we're going to go to our input folder again and go to the IMC, into our mappings, and we're going to make a new map, call it, or pardon me, interact right there. And my interact key is F. I like F. It can be E. Actually, it can't be E, because E and Q are going to be what cycles us through our inventory items. But it's your game, so F, it can be E. Actually, it can't be E, because E and Q are going to be what cycles us through our inventory items. But it's your game, so I'm going to go to the IMC, into our mappings, and we're going to make a new map, call it, or pardon me, interact right there. And my interact key is F. I like F. It can be E. Actually, it can't be E because E and Q are going to be what cycles us through our inventory items. But it's your game, so that's what
I'm not using that as my cycle interact options. You may use that as your cycle interact options. That's a terrible choice, in my honest opinion. Like, it's a terrible choice. E is superior for interact button pressing. Can we just agree with that? E is so comfortable. Boom, E. F isn't as comfortable in my opinion as E is. E is like straight up. I mean, F is kind of the next comfortable. I'll give that to you. But everybody likes E. Everybody likes E. That's my opinion. Also, for those who are still using I as inventory, I get it. I, inventory. Brother, it's tab. Figure it out. Come on now. These people need to quit putting I as inventory. It's tab and you know it. It's tab. It's the next easiest one. Boom, right there. You switch from your shift to pressing tab. At least that's how I do it. Like, it's right there. It's so much easier, especially for someone like me that's not good at using mouse and keyboard, not really good with doing all of this with your hand, especially when I'm used to just doing this. You know, these are all I have. I'm a console player originally, and for all other console people, I just realized my thing's not set up the way I want it. Shoot. I don't think it really matters too much because I'm gonna be leaving before too long anyways. But it's like this. I don't know. Oh, man. But, I don't know. E is superior. I'm not using F. Not using that. I'll use I'll use something else. See, scroll. Right there! He even said it. Scroll. Cycling. Scroll wheel. That's on your mouse. What did I just do? I hit my side button and it... Oh, no. Oh, I was on this one. Yeah. I can't bring my mouse up that high because of all my cables and stuff, but scroll wheel is superior for cycling through stuff. It most definitely can be E because it's the correct statement, but it is my game and it's gonna be E. Scroll. I'm gonna scroll. Scroll is the superior way to do that. I_A_ interact. So I need my, hold on, it's the interact function, right? Should just be the interact function. Or is it interact trace? Yeah. Compile. Save. C. Do something like that. Interact. Keep. Interact. Yeah, I'll just do that. I believe it was. Is it? For duration. Save. Oh, yep. Oh, so it stays there for quite a bit. I could probably swap once here after a bit. I could swap these out, the functionality they have now, and use my interaction feature to apply it to my old stuff. And file save. Okay. Okay. Yo, slow down. Okay, so we're gonna get owner because we couldn't just find it. Then we want destroy actor. That's set to true. Okay. movement. He said Bob for some reason. Not sure why. Okay, so this is the moment we get the stuff. So we'll compile and save. Okay. Texture. Alright, so we're gonna go to his coffee page and grab those real quick. Free assets. So this is what I was talking about earlier. So when you do that, it will go here. And then you can just hit download. Oh, okay. Okay. What that say? It's under collision. Said everything should be fine and good. I'm not seeing that option though. Under the... But things have changed. Yesterday when I was doing something, I had to Google something because it didn't exist anymore. Materials. See, because this would be the section that's normally in import materials. Right, it's... Wait, no, it's generate. It's under mesh. Here's static meshes. Here's skeletal meshes. I'm gonna guess that it's fine because I'm not seeing it. Anyways. Why did I think it was materials? Oh, because I was looking where the mouse was. Yeah. I'm not seeing it. That's general. Here's all common meshes. Yeah, I'm not even seeing it. I'm sure it's on by default anyways. Everything that I need. So I'm just gonna hit import. Okay. Okay, where's my speed at? This is moving way too freaking fast. Slow the hell down. Alright, that one's better. I feel like. Yeah, I was gonna say it's extremely blue. No. No, I hate that. That's honestly useful tip. Thank you. So we go to. Well, here, let me undo this. Let me go to matte, shift, click. Mat. Boom. Shift. Move here. There we go. Nice. All right. Oh, my back. Oh, gosh. Oh. Can be picked up. I'm put a question mark. Compile, save. It's 9 o'clock. I'm almost done. Hey, what's up? I hope I didn't miss your chat too much. This is. Oh, I don't think I did. It's at 3 p.m. What's going on, rubbish game? I'm doing all right, man. We're just working inside Unreal. It's 9:04. I'm actually getting ready to be getting off here in a second. We're just learning some stuff. Behavior type, ping pong. I'm good. I've just been playing PlayStation. I've been playing PlayStation Home, the PS3 social game from 2008. Oh, you're playing on the PS3? Man, trip to the past, my guy. What's your favorite console? If you don't mind me asking. I'm a big PS2 fan. So, okay, wait. What's he changing? Control points. Control points. I'm gonna test it out too. Let's see here. Which one did he just grab the parent class? Yeah, he did. Okay, I'll go back to whatever he just said in a second. Check this apple out. Yeah. Little apple floating. Okay. Personally, if I had an item that was floating or whatever, I probably wouldn't have it floating that high. I'd probably like something like that. Okay. Actually, almost done with this video. Rotating movement. How many degrees per second? $60 degrees it is then, okay. Yeah, it's time to be getting off here. What are you getting at? Okay. Alright. I don't get what he's saying. Okay. Kind of went all over the place there for a second, but item mesh. Save. Data. Okay, it is here. I just overlooked it. Data table. Compile and save. Okay, I might do that real quick just to have it done. Just gonna open them all up one at a time. Static mesh. Apple. Item. How? I have Apple, Neuro 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Why don't I have any? Why don't I have the wood and all that? This would be in the data table. So I should be able to find that. Yo, what's up, Gus? Just a warning, I won't be here for much longer, man. Welcome, though. Welcome. Yeah, I'm getting ready to get off because it's 9:14. I just want to warn you. But thank you for stopping by. I do appreciate it. Have material. I missed you too, man. How you been? See, these are row name. Oh, what the heck? Oh, that's where it's at. Okay. Brick. Health. Potion. What? Why is that? Maybe it's because it doesn't allow spaces. Ah, no spaces. Okay. Key. Meat. Stone. Wood. Alright, we fixed our data table. Now if I come in here... Ah, there we go. I think I'm on the apple, aren't I? Yeah, I'm on the apple. Okay. Compile. Save. That's the apple done. Okay. Brick. Static mesh. We need brick. Then we're gonna go to data. Brick. Compile and save. Key. Open the editor for that. Mesh. We need the key. And we need to select key for the row. Then we need to go to meat. Need to set that static mesh. We'll set it to meat. And then we will select meat for our row. We need potion. This is our health potion, I believe. We need to type in health. I need to learn how to spell. Maybe it's just labeled potion. It's just labeled potion. Data, that should be health potion. Then we have two more. We have stone left. I'm a Sigma. Thank you, my friend. You're a Sigma. How about that? How about that? That's stone. Data item. Stone as well. And then we need static mesh again. Which one is this? wood. And then wood. Done. Alright, so we got all those. For sure you are, man. What are you talking about? Okay, and then he closed all those. So I don't need this open. I don't need this open. I don't need this open. This. We leave the parent class open. Okay. Can't be picked up if set to true. You're making a game? I'm learning. I'm not at the stage where I can make a game. However, I am learning. If we go into the editor here, I have learned a few things. So we got our character in here. I do have a health bar now. If I press 1 and 2, I can add deplete health. See, I can max out on health. If I drain all of my health out, I ragdoll and we die. We'll have to reset. I have made some interactable things. They're not set up super optimized yet, but I have a cube. When I press E, it rotates. Does a little rotating thing. We got a door that runs on a timeline, opens and closes, and we got a light that turns off and on. I did add the ability to where your character starts out walking, and then we got a sprint function added in. I messed with the gravity settings, so our jump is the jump that's built in is a little bit, better. And yeah. So I've implemented a few things I'm learning. Right now, we're implementing an inventory system. So if I actually go back over here real quick, I believe I had it on 3. You should see over here. Oh, sorry. I need to actually point direction. Look in the far left side of the here. I'll full size it. So those numbers are the inventory spaces. So there's 24 of them. In Unreal, it goes from 0 to whatever. So it's 0 to 23, which is 24 slots. That's just what the guy recommended for right now. So there's 24 slots, and then it's basically showing if there's anything in there. So it's like a whole thing. If you need help, I got you. I'm in coding. Oh, you do coding stuff? Yeah. If I get good enough with the whole blueprints thing, and I get to the point where I'm making a game, maybe we could team up and make a game sometime. I wouldn't be against that. I wouldn't be against, making stuff. I'm just kind of following tutorials I'm following this guy's tutorials right now. I'm not really focusing too hard on the whole I'm not trying to what's the word? I'm trying to get the word out cuz I don't plan on keeping a lot of this. I might keep some of this just in case as a backup, as a reference. But what I want to do is I want to follow the tutorial. I want to watch the video again later. And then I want to try to apply it on my own and keep doing that. Because I want to learn what the blueprints are and how they actually work and all that. So that way I can get to the point to where when I think of something, I can just start implementing it. Because if you just follow a tutorial, then you're just following a tutorial, and then eventually you're going to hit a point where you're you want to start doing things on your own, but then you still don't know what's going on. So I'm trying to focus on that aspect, actually learning stuff. I'm trying to learn components, interfaces, all that stuff. I got the inputs down and stuff, so when you make an input like these down here, I know what a boolean is, I know what a float is, I know what an integer is, I know what a name is, I know what a print string is. So you got the boolean is a true or false statement. So I was do I have anything up that has a true or false statement right now that's on screen? Listen, well, this Boolean here is a true or false statement. Here, I'll set it. So basically, if this box is checked, that means it's true or whatever, because this is set to true. So right now that's set to false. I have to do that to set it to true. That's setting it to false, essentially. And basically, and then you add stuff, so you're saying whether or not the item can be picked up or not. So there's that. And then you got integers are whole numbers. So if you need to keep track of like player levels or like how many items in a stack, that sort of thing, those are whole numbers. You got floats, which are your decimal numbers. So if you're trying to keep track of like health and things like that, health, stamina, mana, those type of things, floats are for that. Names are like trying to find like an ID name or something like that. And then you got like print string. So like if I go here, you have all these different variables. I'm gonna delete this in a second. So, and then string is like printing out something. And you also have text, which is like, it's a text string. So it's like a localized string, as you can see there. And then you got things like rotator and transform, which gets like, helps with like rotating things and setting where things are on the screen. And then you can also reference things that you create, like, you know, you got BP underscore or like BPI. There's my health interface. There's my interact interface that I was working on. And then you can once you have those in, once you add them in there as a variable, you can reference them and other things. So there's a lot, and I'm still trying to learn. You know, I don't really know fully what I'm doing here. But yeah. But yeah. Okay. Anyways, I don't remember where I left off. He was explaining something in here, I think. Yeah. Okay, so. Yeah, I'll definitely keep it up. Keep up the work. I'm officially out of time, though. So, yeah. I do have to be heading out. I will be working on more stuff off stream and on stream. So if you guys want to see more of my development and learning Unreal Engine, you know, let me know. And yeah, either way, I think I'm going to be doing some of this stuff live anyways. I've been really getting back into it. I've been wanting to make games for a long time. There's just a lot to learn. And I don't really know anything. Like, I know a decent amount, but I don't really know anything to actually create anything. And I want to get to that point where I can start making stuff. So, yeah. But for where we're at, I feel like we're doing good. We're learning stuff. We're getting things done. I still don't feel like super confident that I can, like, think of something and truly implement it. I'm starting to get to that level, but it's not quite there. And but yeah, we're definitely getting there. But if you guys like this sort of content and stuff and you're over on the YouTube page, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit that bell notification so you don't miss any super insanely amazing content like this, whether it's lives, shorts, or whatever. I would say videos, but I don't really post videos anymore, so mostly just shorts and lives if you're over on YouTube. Yeah. Also, if you're over on Twitch, don't forget to follow. We have a lot of the channel point rewards and stuff over there that you guys can use when I'm live. It's the place I recommend you check out if I'm live. So yeah. Anyways, I also have TikTok and those other places too. That's up to you whether you want to check me out there. Otherwise, stay safe, stay awesome, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.